Perfect. Can we get some W's in the chat? Let's get some W's in the chat, everyone. I want to see some W. I want to see some W. There's 2 of you watching. I want to see some W's in the chat. Give me some W's in the chat. W's in. Give me. I said, give me some W's in the chat. Give me some W's in the chat. Give me some W's in the chat. I want some W's in the. Give me some W's in the chat. I want some W's in the chat. Give me some W's in the chat. W. Give me some W's in the chat. Give me some. Give me some W's in the chat, bro. Hey, I'm not getting W's in the chat. The people in here aren't supporting me. In my workshop, it says 3 people are watching, and no one's saying anything. Where are my mods? Why are you not saying anything?
Can you hear me now? I kept hearing you talking, and you just kept getting louder and louder. And I didn't get overwhelmed. I don't know who the third person is. It might be Nick.
Wait. You're not on. Oh, I thought you were on Discord. Wait, let me close that.
No, I'm not on Discord.
You're on here. Oh, hi there.
Yes.
You can't type in the chat?
I typed in the chat.
I thought you were talking on Discord this whole. I don't see anything in the chat.
Click on the session chat, not event chat.
I'm on session. It's just empty.
Are you sure?
Yeah, if I type in hi, you see that?
Oh my god, Upsilon Pi Epsilon is on here.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
All right, now can you see my message?
Now I can see your message.
Okay, maybe it's because I didn't join audio.
I feel nervous. I feel like I'm gonna throw up, bro.
No, it'll be good.
I don't want to do this. I regret this.
No one knows anything.
I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
You'll be okay.
I don't do this anymore.
You'll be okay.
You'll be
Even if it doesn't go how you plan it, they don't know that. That's why they come to the workshop. They don't know that.
They don't know that. They don't know anything.
They don't know.
They wouldn't know. There's no way they'll know that. I just don't know as much as I used to.
That's okay. You know more than anyone else in there.
Not wrong. You're not wrong. Until my coworkers join the chat and they're like, "Yo, bro, we're here to support you."
Who's gonna? Then they of all people would be the most understanding.
And then they'll be like, "Yo, we're gonna fire this kid. He doesn't know what he's talking about."
No, they would understand the most because
I didn't hear the beginning part that you were talking about how I got louder and louder because I thought you were on the Discord.
Oh, you just kept on bringing your mic fucking close to your face, and I was like, I don't
be in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I didn't say do that again.
Okay. Was that really loud?
Oh my god, Jose's in here. Woo.
Hi, Jose. Oh wow, we got 7 viewers. People got here extremely early. Wait, is it just people with permission?
It's 5 minutes before the thing, so they're able to join.
Oh, welcome everyone. Welcome to the VR workshop.
I don't see them in the people thing though, so.
Welcome to the VR work. Who do you see in people? It's only us two because you're talking.
And Upsilon Pi Epsilon and Jose.
Oh, I don't see any of them.
Oh, Mo's in here.
Oh, I see Mo, Jose.
But he's not in people. Oh, okay.
John Torres. Hello.
People takes a bit to update.
Yes, welcome. Today we're going to do an introductory to virtual reality on Unity 3D. So please make sure you have installed the proper version of Unity. Today we are using 2019.3.0 F6. Yes. We'll likely start like a 11:03, 11:05 because we got to wait for people to join.
What number was that? 2019.3.0
F6. Well, when you look it up on the download archive, so like the way you do it on Unity is you click add, and you see download archive.
Oh, you don't have to show me right now.
Okay, bro. Oh, you're not participating, bro?
I'm a moderator.
Right here.
I will be moderating.
Well, Mo better be here and paying attention. He has a quest too, and Jose has a quest too. So you all better be participating. I mean, people are joining already. I don't think you're supposed to be in this call with me.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Oh, you might have been deafened for this. Like with the welcome thing, it let people in like 5 minutes before the event started. Don't do what you're about to do. Oh
I
my
muted my mic. Okay, I
God. Oh,
muted it.
I thought you were gonna be like,
I
put
was
some
yawning.
W's in the chat.
Let's put some W's in chat.
Let's go put some W's in the chat.
Thank you everyone for the
I'll
W's.
probably turn off my video because I want to eat my salad.
I mean, I think you just disconnect as a whole from this call and just watch. That's what moderator does, isn't it?
Why would I disconnect?
Okay.
Then I went.
You're gonna be a commentator. You should ask questions whenever people. You ask questions. You're like, "Hey, Raul, what does this do?" And I'll be like, "Oh, that great question. That does this."
Sure, I'll send some W's in the chat.
Okay, W's in the chat. Thank you, John Torres, for the W in the chat. I really appreciate it. All the W's you give me help me with this presentation.
It like increases his power, and if we fulfill like the W power bar, you get a special prize, and that special prize will be a smile.
I'm already smiling. We got there. We got to the top of the bar.
We did it, John. We did it.
We got more people joining in. Hello there, everyone. Excited for everyone to participate. We're going to be waiting for more people to join.
Yeah, you got time.
If you don't have a VR headset, it is totally cool. You could still follow along, learn a lot about the beginnings of Unity and how it functions before tomorrow's Introduction to Unity workshop in the morning. Morning if you're on Eastern Standard Time.
I think the hackathon vibes, like the time of hacking, is making me crave pizza because it's always served at least once.
Yeah.
During hackathons.
Pizza would be nice.
It would be nice. My roommate's asleep already, though.
Burgers would be good.
Why you want burgers so much?
I love burgers. They're so tasty. It's like my favorite meal. It has everything. It has the carbs, it has the vegetables, it has the seasoning and the meat.
A lot of meals have that.
But it's all handheld. And it's like 5 bites and you're done. Take really big bites of your burger. And it's like, oh, it's gone now.
I like hot dogs more.
I love the crunching noise they make. When you like have a little crispy lettuce inside your burger and it goes.
What?
Yeah, when you bite into your burger. What's your thoughts, John, on biting into burgers? Do you like burgers or hot dogs?
Oh my god, we got another W.
Another W. Thank you for filling up the W. The W
Another
bar.
one.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Another
Burgers easy. Thank you. Hot dogs are not the best. Okay? In my opinion. Why do you like hot dogs, Camilla?
They're delicious. And it's also 12:02.
Hot dogs you have to eat like 4 times.
Mid. They're the opposite of mid. They're either really horrible or amazing. Mod. Borgar.
No, Ed. Why would you go to that side? That the fuck?
Thank you.
Okay. I appreciate you stopping by, Ed, to help watch me teach this workshop. Yeah, this is burgers versus hot dogs. I'm not the biggest fan of hot dogs.
Yeah, we misspelled burgers really badly when we wrote out the name of this workshop.
Yeah, we accidentally put virtual reality in the title.
Mhm.
That's clearly what this wasn't supposed to be about. Now we're still gonna wait a few more minutes for some more people to join in. Much love, Ed. And then it's gonna be a great time. We're going to learn how to work with virtual reality. And my favorite aspect is no coding necessary, completely beginner friendly.
Wait, are you actually for real?
Yeah,
I
there's
didn't
no
know that.
coding. There's no coding for this entire workshop.
I didn't know that.
There no coding. This is perfect. Everything is already built in for you on Unity. Just everyone make sure you specifically have downloaded as a prerequisite 2019.3.0 F6. And if you don't know how to do that, you can open up your Unity Hub, go to installs, click add, and you're going to see download archive. Download archive allows you to download all the old versions of Unity. Okay, so make sure you go to this site, which I will paste down below in the comments. And so we want to make sure you have Unity 2019.3.0. Okay, and you're going to end up having the same one that I have right over here. This one, this step is very crucial. Okay, we're using a specific XR toolkit for Unity that allows us to automate. Like it already brings in the scripts that we need for this project, and there's a lot of already made documentation with the toolkit compared to using newer means of OpenXR. However, people could counter me and say that the newer stuff is better. Whatever you want to believe. I'm here to teach what's easy and what's great for introductory courses. Okay, we're going to wait one more minute. See, we have 31 people in the chat. Super exciting. Okay, whoever left, I'm very disappointed. Now, yep, someone keeps leaving and coming back. That's a shame. You know,
Dude, they're
we can work with
trolling
30.
you. They're
They
trolling.
really are. The specific version we're using is 2019.3.0. Camilla is going to be helping me today with this workshop by answering any questions in the chat to the best of her ability.
Yes, I also know nothing about VR, but I have experience in other things. I will not expand any further.
Okay, perfect. I think we're good. Now, who already has it downloaded in the chat? And if you don't have a VR headset, then don't worry. You can continue, and I'll teach a few basics related to Unity, which are super helpful. Okay, so what am I teaching about VR specifically today? Well, I was going to talk about some of the main principles that VR includes, and then we're going to be making a few easy projects using built-in scripts that Unity already has for you for virtual reality. So a few of these games will include bowling, baseball, and basketball, just to create some experiences in virtual reality. Yeah, so in Unity Hub, if you go to installs, it will not contain chatbots. I feel like this is a reference to something. I don't know what it is. So specifically when you click add, you're not going to see the version here listed out. So you want to go to download archive because we're getting a specific version just for this project. Okay, so I'll follow the steps with all of you. You're going to open up your Unity, for example. You go to installs. Then you're going to click on add. Then we're going to go to download archive. And you're going to have this link open up. Okay. So on Unity Download Archive, this is the page for all previous versions of Unity, so personal and pro. And so if we go down to Unity 2019.x, this is where you can find all the old versions of Unity. And you could download it straight into Unity Hub by using this green button. So we're going to look specifically for Unity 2019.3. So I'm going to quickly scroll down. And you're going to find Unity 2019.3.0. January 27th, 2020. Okay. So here specifically is the one you're going to use. And then you're going to click on the download link for Unity Hub. Clicking this will request you to open Unity Hub on your computer. And it's going to load up the specific details. And I already have it installed on my machine. I would like all of you to install it on your machine if you're going to be following along with this tutorial. When following, I'd appreciate if you could... Oh, nice job, Camilla. I would appreciate if you could please download support for Android, so Android support, and Windows build support. Okay, so when you're downloading it, you're going to see the option which types of versions you want. And we're going to want the Android build support, and we're also going to want the Windows build support. We're going to want both of these. That allows you to make your game function on, let's say you're using a Quest, it lets you make it work standalone. So the Android build support is specifically just for the Quest. And then Windows build support is for any type of VR headset that's related to OpenXR. So like if it works with Steam, it'll work with Steam games that are already Windows build support. You'll be making your own as well. And so you can upload it to Steam and then other people can use Steam's VR in order to like play your game. Okay, so these are the two versions you want to add support for Unity. Okay, and then once it finishes downloading, we're going to begin. I know some people are downloading right now, so I will wait an extra minute. But I do have to start soon so that we can get as much as we can in the hour for this workshop, okay? So once again, you're going to click on Add. You're going to click on Download Archive, and it's going to open up the Download Archive website. And it's going to be on 2021. You want to go to 2020, 2019, and scroll down to Unity 3.0 right here, okay? And very simple, that's all it is. So now we're going to begin. I'm super excited. I'm going to treat this like a super introductory for Unity as well. So yeah, so I could send resources related to VR development afterwards, after this workshop, for anyone that's super interested in learning anything else or like explore more on how to do VR development. Specifically, I'll send things related to Unity. However, I highly recommend checking out Unreal Engine as well if your computer is able to handle it. So let's begin. So if you click on your projects tab, it should be blank if you just downloaded Unity. However, if you did not, then it's perfectly fine. And you already have your projects there. We're going to be making a brand new one. So in case, instead of clicking the new button, which is blue, you want to click on the arrow button, okay? So you want to click on the blue arrow button specifically so you could pick a version of Unity. This is in case you already have other versions of Unity. It will likely use the Unity version you last made a project with. We want to make ours specifically with 2019.3.0. Okay, so blue arrow, and we're going to click it. There you have your little pop-up, and you're going to name your project to whatever title you want to call this. I'm going to call this my virtual reality test workshop. Okay, and make sure it is set to 3D so we automatically have the editor set up for a 3D game. Create, and it should start loading up. So give it 1 second to load in the meantime. See, it's still installing for David. I'll have to slow down a little bit then. Okay, I can wait. I can wait a little bit. No need to worry. In the meantime, Terraria or Minecraft? Because I have a Minecraft background on my computer. It's for good reason. What? Okay, I'm disappointed the amount of people that put Terraria.
You can't compare them like that. They have like Terraria is like RPG.
Minecraft is RPG.
Yeah, but like Terraria, the whole point is the RPG thing, whereas Minecraft, it's more creativity.
I'll take it.
Terraria has more to do. What do you think about that?
You know what? I have no thoughts. I will let people have their opinion, okay? I'm a Minecraft fan. I know you're a Minecraft fan. You have a Minecraft pillow in your background, so I don't know why you're even going against me.
I can have different opinions. I can enjoy. I am I'm the enjoyer, and you are the fan.
Okay, I see. Okay, just if you could all tell me if it finishes downloading. She's supposed to be the moderator, not the mediator. I don't get this. It's just unfair. W for Camilla. Shake my head. If you have finish downloading, like installing the Unity version, just say it in the chat so I know. If not, then I'll just have to repeat myself one more time just in case for anyone that's joining in late. I have 38 people. Wow. So yeah, in case you still haven't downloaded it and you're coming in late right now, this is the last time I'm going to repeat it. You're going to go to installs. You're going to click on add, download archive. It's going to open up the Unity link. And we're going to be downloading specifically Unity 2019.3. And Camilla put the link and instructions in the Hopin. So you can definitely follow those. And you can scroll down till you find 0.3.0. Click Unity Hub and make sure that you downloaded specifically the versions that we want is build support for Android and Windows. And you'll get a pop-up when you're downloading it so you can see that, okay? So it's Android build support and Windows build support. Android build support is so that we're able to use it on the standalone for the Quest. Today I am using a Quest 2. And I removed the backside of my Quest 2. You guys can do this the same way. That way you don't have to keep on putting it on and off and it gets really annoying. Instead, you can just put it straight on your face and just take it off and it functions the same way. So now I will continue the project. And then from there, we clicked on the blue arrow. So the index, it's going to function the same way. This is like supposed to work for all devices, okay, the toolkit. And if it does not, then we'll debug together. So you're going to create your new Unity project using 2019.3. Make sure you click 3D, pick a name, and then create. And then you're going to be on this Unity version like me. If you use the more modern versions of Unity where you get free dark mode, you could appreciate the good old days, but now we're going to be stuck on the light mode of Unity prior to it being free. So we're going to continue on. And while it still downloads for some people, I can actually just begin. So when developing in VR, there are multiple different factors that you want to consider. So these include the code that's going to go into your game, the game engine that you're going to be using, the motion sickness that an individual could feel, so the different types of ways that you could get to these symptoms, and then the headset / device that you're using for your virtual reality. So the first things you're going to need to actually develop is going to be the game engine, the VR headset, and the SDK. So the game engine itself, you could use such as Unreal Engine, you could use Unity 3D, and then there are new engines coming out every single couple of weeks nowadays, because there are a lot of great open source alternatives to Unity that you could actually use for your types of games. And soon enough, they'll probably have VR support as well, because it's becoming a very popular type of field in the game industry. Then you also have to consider the type of code that you're making. So is there already documentation in the past? What type of programming language are you currently using for virtual reality? Unity uses C#, while Unreal uses C++ and its coding blueprints. And then you also have to consider these other types of game engine alternatives that do not actually have, that use different types of languages. For example, there could be a game engine that uses Java, and those exist because that's how Minecraft was brought to be, using Java. Then you also have to consider the motion sickness, like I mentioned before, the symptoms. A few examples, so I don't have to go that much into detail about it, is that the lack of sound can be a reason that some people might get motion sickness during a game. Wide movements that creates that makes an individual have to move rapidly or shake a lot, that will also make them motion sick for the reason that their bodies aren't really feeling the change in orientation. And that is something that's super uncomfortable. And that actually leads you to the third one, which is that some people don't really enjoy smooth tracking, as in like smooth transportation and movement. So those three different methods or three different ways of getting someone sick are the ones you want to try avoiding doing in your VR game. And the only way you could really see that is by testing it. So if you get sick, then you'll figure it out yourself that you just got sick, and you want to really avoid that for your player. So for the headset, there are two things that can impact the development. So one of these things can be the actual headset itself. So you have 3 degrees of freedom or 6 degrees of freedom. So 3 degrees of freedom, as you can see on my VR headset right over here, is the way of orientation that you can move your headset. So for example, I can move my headset side to side, up and down, and then a bit like diagonally in other directions, but you could see that I'm not actually moving in a physical space. It's all rotation based. So I can only move within this sphere that I have. However, 6 degrees of freedom is pretty cool because it allows you to move forward and backwards, up and down, and side to side, and it with the rotation aspect to it. So you could walk around the room and be able to feel like you're actually walking in that space for the reason that your headset's allowing you to move your position in that actual space itself. And then the second one to have is your headset standalone or connected to a PC? So currently I'm using my Quest connected to a PC because I'm developing on it. However, like we mentioned before, if you're developing for a Quest and you use the Android support on Unity, you can actually make it standalone and your game could be saved onto the Quest and you could use it without having it plugged into any types of cables onto your computer, or you can make it connected to your PC and you can use the computer's graphics card power in order to make it more powerful and have even better graphics on your headset. And so those are the different types of factors that you want to consider in developing your virtual reality game. The next step that it's very important is going to be the actual SDK. So SDKs will end up being the VR asset. So two popular ones include Steam VR and Oculus integration. So the problem with them is they're dependent on the headset that you use. And so one of the great things is using a type of SDK that has multi-headset compatibility. And that's actually one of the things that we're going to be using specifically in our workshop today. We're going to be using the VR toolkit, and that has compatibility with a wide variety of VR headsets. And so doing your code for one headset will function for all the other headsets. And if it doesn't, then you could blame that headset company. So we're going to try working with that toolkit and setting up as much as we can of a VR space and world, make it interactable where we could grab objects, maybe make a few games ourselves, and try our best to do it without actually coding. For the reason that I want this to be an introductory, you'll be exploring C# programming and game development mechanics, game development techniques later on through the other workshops that we have here in ShellHacks. And so I definitely want you to be able to make as much as you can without spending as much time on the coding aspect itself. So we're going to now begin right over here with the actual details on setting up. So if you're using an Oculus Quest yourself here today, okay, then please open up your Oculus profile on your computer. So the Oculus just app itself. And so open up, go to your settings and go to general and make sure you have unknown sources on. This is so that we could be able to allow apps to run on our Quest. So when we're testing on Unity, we could automatically see everything run on our Unity on their Quest device and be able to have it function. Now the index, it should automatically function because it's already connected to the computer and it's like a separate source. However, if we do have any of those difficulties, then we'll debug together and have some assistance because we do have a few people in the chat that are very experienced with other types of headsets of that sort as well. Now, first things first, we're in Unity. That's great. How does this program work if you are a complete beginner and don't know how to have it function? So we're going to start with the basics. We're going to go with what components we have on our Unity client and how to use them. So we'll start with the top left. We have our different tabs that allow us to have different ways of manipulating our engine. So we have our file tab where we could save our scene, we could create a new project, edit a project, and then build our project itself. We also have the edit button, which allows us to do selections, specifically on like our children's or prefabs. We could copy and paste, and most of the generic editing features that you get in most other types of softwares, just like Photoshop, Illustrator, video editing software, and so on. Now, the ones that are specific to this engine or just game engines as a whole would be your assets tab. So this allows you to add specific assets into your game. In case you don't know what an asset is, it's technically a really dumbed down way of saying it would be a component that's inside your game that represents something. So let's say we have like a material, okay? A material is just a color. It's like a paint. And so that would be a game asset. That's just the component that's part of a game that we have and we're using in our game itself. You could say this for other things, for example, like an actual object. So it could be like a sphere that would be our game object, our game asset. Then we also have showing Explorer to like open up our assets in Explorer and anything related to importing packages and exporting packages. We have our game objects. So these are all of the objects that we can add into our game. This is more on our 3D objects that we're focusing on today. So it's going to be like our cubes, spheres, and so on. And we're going to build upon it to make it more interactive and better. Then you also have components. So we're going to go more into components in a little bit when I talk about the inspector and how objects work in the hierarchy. And then we also have our window management. So the window management is important for the reason that if your Unity looks different than what I have currently and you want it to look like mine, you can click on the window layouts and then just click on 2x3, or you could also click on some of the other ones that you might prefer. So there's force split, default, and tall, and then there's also wide. Now I'm a big fan of tall itself. However, what I do is I grab game and then I move it down here. Okay. So each of these little tabs themselves, you can actually grab them and move them around. So hierarchy, if I wanted to, I could put it right over here, right behind my scene, and I could switch between them. Or if I want to move it back, I can move it right over here and then put my project right under it. And you can manipulate your engine to look in any specific way that you want it to function for you so that it's more organized. So just move it in any orientation that you'd like and that you feel most comfortable with. I'm going to be sticking on this one, which was, and I repeat myself, it was tall, and then I just move game below scene. The reason is I could then manipulate and make changes to the scene, which the scene is the space that we're going to be able to control and make changes to our game, while the game itself is what it's going to look like to the gamer, the player, the audience, the individual using our game. And so we could see both of them at the same time, and then I could be able to show you what changes the player will see when we manipulate our scene. Then we also have our hierarchy. So the hierarchy, you could see name of your scene. So when you first start, you're going to see sample scene. Then we also have our main camera and our directional light. So I can show you here at first how it works with an object in your game by testing it on the camera. So if you click on the camera, you can notice we have these gizmos or axes as well. So we have the green one, the red one, and the blue one. So these let you just move within a space in our scene. Very simple. And if you want to move it to a specific one, then what we could do is you could go to your transform inside your inspector, and your inspector will let you make specific changes to your values. Oh, I lost my camera. How can I find it? Well, if I click on main camera in my hierarchy and I click the letter F while having my mouse over the scene, it will actually zoom out and find it for me and center it in the screen. If you want to move around, you could hold down your right button on your mouse and you can look around, and then you will fly around by using WASD. If you want to move up and down, you can use Q and E. And then that's how you move within your scene space. Perfect. So now we have a handle of how to move around, how to move an object, and understand a little bit how the inspector functions in itself. We also have our project section right over here in the bottom. And the project section contains all of our assets, and then already automatically has a scenes folder. So the scenes folder holds in all the information related to our scene. Okay. And then we can also make some new folders ourselves. Something I like to do is when I make a brand new project, I don't like to fill in the assets folder automatically. So I just make a random assets folder myself, which I just call _assets. And then inside this one, I just go crazy and I put everything down because I just like prototyping on Unity. And now that's the basic concept and gist of how we're going to be doing this workshop and how Unity functions. So let's begin. We're going to try customizing our world a little bit. So in order to make it have a little bit more pizzazz, we will be importing a lot of packages at the start. And we're not going to be integrating the VR aspect first yet. We want to first create our map and make it look a little bit better. So one way we can do this is we could first right click on our hierarchy, and we're going to create a 3D object. And this object is going to be a plane. So we're going to create it. And now we're going to have our little plane space. And you can notice that it's kind of under the 0 plane. And we kind of want it to be in the center. So what is one way of doing it? Well, we could just change the position for all of them to be 0. However, an easy way that you can do it is you can click these three dots right here for transform, and you can just click reset, and that'll automatically center it for you in the middle of your Unity project. And I'll do that for my camera as well, just so it could be at the center. We have our plane, and so inside of our plane, we want to change it up a little bit by scaling it. So we're going to scale our plane by changing the values. So let's try like 2, 2, and 2. It's a pretty big space now. And I want to change the color. So I want to ask in the chat if you guys remember what the color is represented by, if you were listening a few minutes ago. Okay. What is it? No, not actual colors. So I was mentioning before in game objects or in assets, right? In create, one of these represents the color. And I mentioned it earlier. Thank you, David. I appreciate you, David. And Stephanie. I appreciate both of you so much for listening. Okay. It is a material. So material represents colors. So we're going to create a material in our assets folder, just so we don't have to do it later on. Okay, so you could go to your assets folder, or if you didn't make the same folder as me, you could do it anywhere here. But I like keeping it all inside my underscore assets. And then in here, I'm going to create a material. So make sure to name your material to the color they're actually going to do it to. In the chat, what color do you guys want the plane to look like? Yvonne, why? Why would you do this to me? Okay, thank you, Kim. I will make it green. Okay, I'll make it dark green because someone mentioned that. I just name it green, but I'll pick dark green. So you could click on the actual color itself here inside your inspector, and you can manipulate the color of your material. And you can notice that it starts changing color as well. So you can visualize it a little better, and you can see what type of color you're going for. So I'll go for a darkish green. And now something that's really cool is you could just grab this asset and you can just drag it in, and it automatically puts itself onto its plane. So now we have a darkish green plane. Honestly, it's not that dark, but I mean, I kind of like this color, so I'll keep it. And I'm also going to make a brown material just because I will use it later, since Yvonne mentioned he wanted brown. So get a brown color here going. Oh gosh, do I actually know how to make brown? Okay, that looks good enough. Perfect. So now we have a green and a brown, and this is what we're going to be using in the bit. So we finished up by decorating our plane. We have our camera centered and everything perfectly set. And so from now, we could just automatically start working on setting up our VR capabilities. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to be going to Window. Okay. And then inside of Window, we want to go to Package Manager. So you're going to click on Package Manager, and you're going to have this pop up. So inside this pop-up, we want to look for XR Toolkit. Now, you won't be able to find XR Toolkit unless you go to Advanced and you click Show Preview Packages. So make sure you click on Advanced and then click Show Preview Packages. Then I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom because it's alphabetical order. And here we have our XR Interaction Toolkit. So this toolkit includes all of the scripts that we need for VR and AR experiences. And we're going to install it. So you click the Install button. And then we're going to wait. In the meantime, I'd like to hear what is your favorite virtual reality game in the chat. That is not Beat Saber. I saw people talking about Beat Saber already. Oh my gosh, Kim. Okay, guys, the workshop's over. I'm leaving. And when you get this pop-up, don't click yes. Just click no. We're gonna leave it at no. Bone working game. That's a good one. I Expect You to Die is also a good one. And they're coming out the second one, I believe, or already came out. Super hot. Oh, it came out. Yes. So that one's a really good one as well. So we set up the package manager where we already installed our XR interaction toolkit. So now we have this package set up. Now, the second part is setting up our headset to work. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go to Edit. Okay. And then inside of Edit, we're going to go down to Project Settings. Okay. And then inside the project settings, we're going to go to player. Okay, so inside of player, we're going to go into XR settings and we're going to set up virtual reality supported. It is going to import a few more packages that it needs in order to automatically have things it needs to function properly. And now we have our Oculus SDK and our OpenVR SDK. So both of these SDKs are, well, technically because OpenVR allows you to use the Index and many other types of VR headsets that use that SDK. So it's going to download that one because it's pretty popular. And then also the Oculus one because Oculus is its own separate SDK as well. So those are the two most popular ones currently. There are other ones that are also very popular. However, these are ones that I downloaded at the moment. So you'll be able to use the majority of headsets perfectly fine. Then you want to make sure your stereo rendering mode is set to single pass instead of multi-pass. So make sure you go to player from project settings from edit. And then you make sure you then click single pass from your stereo rendering mode. Okay. Is everyone at this point? I don't want to rush too much. But I hope so. Okay, perfect. I appreciate the honesty in the chat. So we're going to continue on. And now it should work with our VR headset. Now we actually got to test it out. Let's test out the toolkit. So we're going to create an empty object. So you're going to go to your hierarchy, you're going to right click, and you're going to create an empty. So an empty is just an object that has nothing. It's literally just an empty object. Okay, you can't see it. There's nothing to look at. It's just empty. And we're going to reset it. The reason you would use it at times is because it's like a way of grouping things together. It could be used as the parent of different components that you want to work together with one another, and a great way to group things together. So inside this game object, we're just going to name it our VR rig. Okay. And so inside of VR rig, we're going to add a empty child object. So give me 1 second. Yeah, so empty game object. Then we're going to add another empty object inside. Okay. And then this one is going to be our camera offset. Okay. And then inside the camera offset, we're going to have our virtual reality camera. Okay. So we're going to grab the camera and we're just going to drag it inside our camera offset. Perfect. So the VR rig is supposed to be the one that holds the camera offset and anything related to the actual arms. So the arms are going to add later on. And the camera offset is going to hold the camera, which is what we use to see. So we can change this into the VR camera. Perfect. And then inside of here, we're going to be adding the component of the virtual reality headset. So let me find the name here again of what it is. Offset. Yeah, so give me 1 second. It is XR rig. So XR rig is going to go inside our VR rig. Okay. And so here we have like our camera floor offset object, our camera game object, and then our camera offset. And then our VR camera, which is the VR camera is automatically to work as well. And so now we have our VR rig, our camera offset, and our VR camera. We could try turning it on and seeing if it automatically will function. Okay, so let's give this a try. Nothing ever works on the first try. Okay. Thank you, Camilla, for being a huge support explaining what XR stands for. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly do this, and I need to set up my headset real quick so I can connect to my computer. Give me a moment. My apologies. Oh, okay. I hope you guys can now see my screen and that my headset is moving. So I'm gonna put it on my neck level. And you can see that it's moving at the bottom. Okay, it's moving up and down. Now, the problem is my camera is kind of inside the ground. But you can see that the headset's working perfectly fine with my headset. And now I have an actual camera that is able to function. Let me put this to the side. Okay. And now if we change your camera offset and we try again, then now I am at a higher level. Okay, there. Yeah, so the Quest, if you remove your eyes from it, it automatically turns off to save power. So I have to have like something at its close proximity. So that's why I'm putting it towards my chest. And you can see that my character is moving around and the eyes are working perfectly fine. So perfect. Now we have some eyes. How are we going to do the rest? Well, we need to start adding some arms so we can move around, or not move around yet, but so that we could just be able to hit things. Okay. And in the scope of what we're doing today, we're just going to be learning how to grab things, and then we're going to be making one of these games in order to show you how it functions. Okay. So we fixed the floor level, and now we're going to set up some arms. So we're going to create some empty objects inside. We're going to call this one the left arm. And then we're going to add the right arm. Okay. So we have the left arm and the right arm, and we can actually add the script for them. Arm node. I do not remember the exact name of this one. It is XR controller. Perfect. So we want to specifically get the device-based XR controller. Okay, and you want to add that to both of these. So the XR controller device-based script is going to be the script that the arms use. Okay, it's pretty hard to go more into detail on these scripts because they're self-explanatory. So on the left arm, you have the XR controller. On the right arm, we're going to add the XR controller, and then we're going to pick which arm it is. So for example, the controller node for the left arm is going to be left hand. And then for the right arm is going to be the right hand, which is automatically set for you. Perfect. Now we have both of them. Now, how do we make like visual arms that work? Because I could test it right now, and you're going to see that my arms are just going to be axes. Like I'll show you here, for example. Okay, well, first of all, my headset turned off, so let me turn that back on. Okay, perfect. So I have my headset, right? If I move my controller, which was my left controller? This was my left controller. You can see it's just an axis moving, okay? And I can move it like up and down, and you can't really see there's a model there or anything. It's because we haven't made a model yet. So we're going to be making our own arms. And an inspiration of one of my favorite games, we're going to make some rectangular Minecraft arms. So we're going to create a 3D object, and we're going to make a cube. Yes, a brand new Minecraft skin. This is actually a Minecraft mod for your information. It's really crazy. So I'm going to do my arm model, and I'm going to center it to the middle so I could see it. And just like I said before, you can click the letter F and it'll focus and zoom in for you. And now I have our cube. So this cube, I'm going to modify it. So let's change the scale a little bit so it works in my favor. Instead of using the inspector, I want to use one of the gizmos at the top. So I have the move tool, the rotate tool, the scale tool, the rect tool, and two other different tools that I won't go into detail. So we have the scale tool, which is the one that I'm going to use right now currently for this arm. And I'm going to stretch the sides, okay, for my arm and lower over here for that aspect. And I'm going to make my own arms. So you can make your arms as long as you want yourself. I want them to not be that, that big. I feel like they're too long and too thick. Can I get some? I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. So yeah, let's continue on. Yeah, some W's in the chat. Thank you. So I'm gonna format my arm a little bit, and I'm gonna put the color brown on it that Yvonne mentioned. Perfect. And now I have my arms. So let me just continue on making them more realistic. Oh gosh, I feel like I keep making it worse every time. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that. End the story. So the left arm, if I wanted to, I'd be like, oh, all I gotta do is just drag this in here. Well, the thing is, I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to make it a prefab that means it's automatically saved in my folder, and I could use it and make changes to it later that will make changes to all versions of it. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to my assets folder, and I'm going to drag the ARM model right over here. And before I do that, let's fix these numbers up a little bit. So the Y, I want it to be at 0. And the scale, so far, it seems all of them are relatively the same for X and Y, which is 0.09. And over here, it was 0.6. Perfecto. I got my arms. And I could drag my arm model right over here into my assets. And now I have an actual prefab. And you can see that I changed this color to blue because it means it is a prefab. So it already has its pre-made transform and its pre-made components. And if you make a change to the arm model down here, it's going to make a change to all of them. Now, I'm going to go to my arm model, and I'm just going to delete this one. And I'm going to drag the arm model to both of them. So model prefab. And then over here, model prefab. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to test it out. We should have some working arms. As I said, we should. Doesn't mean we will. Because nothing ever works the first try. Okay. This is very interesting. I now have two very large cubes. And the scale is nowhere there from what I wanted it to be. But at least they're moving. So that's a benefit. Let's try looking back at what maybe we did as an error. And this is the part where I try debugging it live. So give me 1 second. So I created my left hand and my right hand. And I made our hands, our prefab. And from there, I believe I have realized our little mistake here. Okay, instead of just automatically putting it in, right, it should first be the controller. So I'll show you what I mean. What we're first going to do is we're going to create an empty object, and this one's going to be a controller. Okay, and then this controller itself is going to be reset. Then I would put the ARM model inside. And I want to unpack the prefab so that it's not like a prefab anymore. It's just its own model. And this is what we're going to put as a prefab, the entire controller. And this controller, if I add it now, should be the one that functions. Once again, my headset. I disconnected. And now we got our arms. And they're moving. And it's really cool that they're moving. Now I just don't see them. Okay, there, I see them now. And now we have our working arms. And it's really exciting that we have some arms that are fully functioning with our headset. Okay. John's hyped. I can see the excitement. That's it. That's all we needed. This is a arm simulator. And we just created our arms. And so I want to decorate a little bit more the scene before we start adding an interactable. And I'll show you how to do that. Just give me 1 second. $100. That would be very expensive. I believe I did not put a specific script on the Vera headset. And I apologize for that. So I must find where this was not placed. Okay. Actually, I'm crazy. I was not missing anything. Everything is working perfectly fine. I just doubt when things work too perfectly fine. I actually expected a lot of bugs this workshop. I will not lie with you. Okay, so we can continue on and we can decorate a little bit. So we practice adding a few assets, but let's add a few more. Let's add some new packages that would add a little more pizzazz. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to click on Window at the top left, and we're going to click on the Asset Store. And this is where we access everything. We're going to be downloading assets into our game. So a few of my favorite ones is Gridbox. So Gridbox is a great package. It's free to use Gridbox prototype materials, and it automatically creates nice textures for you to put on your grounds and your games, and you could be able to use the lines themselves to measure the scale of everything that you have. So currently, I recommend downloading it if you have not downloaded it yourself. And then you can also get a skybox. So a skybox is what our sky looks like. So there's different ones you could get. I recommend going for the free assets and then grabbing something that you like from the free assets. So I have a Fantasy Skybox and Skybox series and like Starfield Skybox. And you can try all of those out. After you click download and you install them, to actually put them to your game, you got to go to Package Manager. And you should see them here in Package Manager. So I'm going to remove preview packages. And I need to look for them now. Oh, never mind. I did not want to click that. Okay. Okay, so it was called Gridbox. So alphabetically, I'm going to look for Gridbox. Okay, Gridbox is not showing up. And a second here. Asset management. Because when I go over here and I want to download it, I know Unity recently, they made it that you, oh, okay, the import's working perfectly fine here. I know I'm not crazy. You all saw I couldn't download it before, right? So I'm just going to import it. Download everything. It's going to import into my package here. Take a second. And I'm going to show you how beautiful our game could be using free assets from the asset store. It's still downloading. How's the weather over there, everyone? Anyone in any different time zones from Eastern Standard? I guess we're all from Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I finished importing. So now I have my Fantasy Skybox folder. I can go to my scene and go to materials. Oh, that's a lot of espresso, Kim. I don't know if that's safe. And from over here, I could drag it and I could automatically put my sky. And now I have a fantasy sky. Super, super, super simple. 10:07 gang. Yes, John. That's gonna be a very memorable meme. We have to make a shirt for it for ShellHacks. 10:07 gang. It's 10:30 in the morning there. Wow. I'm gonna see the sunrise tonight from all the workshops we have. Yes, we are making Sword Art Online at this point. The grass is literally the same exact color as what they have. I will not lie with you. I think this is something subconscious I just have in my head, an obsession with SAO. And now let's over here and let us attempt to make our table. So we're gonna make a little table. I click create, new cube, center the cube. And I'm going to make a little table for a cube to be next to us so we have something to interact with. And I didn't add the grid box package, which is what I wanted to do before. So let me look for it. This is a not good time for my computer to get slow on me. So I really hope nothing goes wrong. And we're going to, y'all see that it says update, right? Oh, I need the newest version of Unity for this now. Darn, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, then we're just going to use a random material color. So let's create a material. And we'll just name it red. And I'll name it red, but I'm not going to pick red. I'll just make it blue. Just to show you that it doesn't have to be the same color, the same name of the color that you're doing. Perfect. So now I have my little table. And let's increase the height of the table a little bit. And let's go into testing. I want to see if my table is working perfectly fine. Okay. The same thing as always. I got to continue as my profile. Perfect. I see my arms under me. Okay, I see my arms are a lot lower than what I was hoping for them to be. So we may have to edit that. And it's pretty simple. All you have to do is just orient your arms based relative to you by changing the default like y-axis. So you can change it on the y-axis and your arms will be positioned with you. Because as you can see at the bottom screen, I hope you can see on the bottom screen. Yeah, if I do this, my arms are on the floor. And that's not supposed to be happening. And actually, I believe that can be solved by actually putting that into camera offset. Let's test it out. Yep, automatic solution. I have my arms in front of my face. And to avoid any of this clipping for when you put your arms close to you, you can actually fix that by going straight into the camera. And I'll show you myself. You go straight into your camera. And inside of this, you want to change the clipping pane. So for near, you just want to make this number a lot lower. So for example, if I make it 001, try it again. Yo, did it break? Yo, it broke. Oh no. Okay, we'll change it right over here. Near to 001. Try it out. I do not see anything. This is not good. This is worrisome. I think I put the number to an extremely low amount. Oh, okay. So my quest has decided to reset itself. So I'm going to confirm the Guardian. Perfect. And now you can see that I can put it closer to my face and it works perfectly fine. And it doesn't clip, except for like when in that corner. But you could manipulate the numbers to see which one you actually prefer. So that is my introduction to Unity. If you guys have any questions in the chat, you can definitely ask me. And we set up some of the beginner tools that you actually need in order to do Unity. So yeah, for the installation reasons, we weren't able to add more content that I was wishing we could. However, I could send you a few YouTube tutorials that I used to set up this workshop and learned how I learned to use VR development in Unity. So I'm very happy that everyone came here. I hope we get some W's in the chat. And that you were all able to follow along in this codeless introduction on how to set up your VR world, set up Unity. Did want to do an introduction on how Unity functioned and its mechanics for all of you. And I appreciate every single one of you for stopping by and participating in the chat. So I'm going to find for you what I recommend. And I'll send it in the chat right now so you can all check it out yourselves. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so all the workshops are going to be uploaded to YouTube with time. I believe they are unlisted, but access is given to all participants of ShellHacks. It will take about a week after ShellHacks for the videos to be uploaded, for the reason that we have a lot of workshops going on. So I'd say definitely about a week, but it should be perfectly fine. And to reply to you, I definitely recommend checking out this video right over here. This tutorial is an amazing one. Highly recommend it for beginners. It's actually one of the tutorials that I first used when it first, like a long time ago. I actually can't say exactly how long ago, but I think I started learning virtual reality myself during the summer of 2020 because of COVID. I was really bored, so I bought a VR headset. And that was one of the first tutorials I ever found. So definitely recommend it. Yeah, and then I did after that summer, I led a VR team for Spark Devs. You guys should definitely join Spark Devs; it's an incredible thing. And I met some really cool people like David Lara, and we made a really cool project. So it was incredible. And that's all I have to say. Wrapping off this workshop, definitely go to the 2 a.m. Scriblio and the 3 a.m. Among Us. It's gonna be super fun. So UPE, our organization that runs ShellHacks, we actually host different programs throughout the semester, like college semesters for like members. And one of these programs is Spark Dev, where for 9 weeks you work on a team with individuals on a specific tech. So there's like a VR team, a robotics team, a web dev team, and for 9 weeks you work on this. And by the end of the 9 weeks, you have a demo day. So if you're on their Discord, you could get more information about that by going to the programs text channel, and you could participate in those programs yourself if you want to. Yeah, we have 8 different programs. Well, 7 if you remove ShellHacks, so 8 with ShellHacks included, and each of them does different things throughout the whole semester. ShellHacks is our signature yearly event, but we also host 4 different programs that have workshops in them, and then different types of aspects to help grow individuals' careers in CS and any other type of tech. We aren't focused on just people with computer science majors, which is why we're so large, because a lot of individuals just like technology and they want to get better and more empowered in it. So thank you once again, everyone, for stopping by. I appreciate all of you. It is now time for us to rest. I better catch you at the future activities. Okay? Goodbye.
You don't have to thank me, Adrian. I was just vibing the entire time.
Are we leaving? Do we have? Are we heading
I
out?
don't know.
Are we heading?
What I'm gonna do is go to the ShellHacks Vector Art Introduction Workshop. I actually wanna go to it.
Yes, all of you should go to the next workshops. Go, go, go. Check them out.
Yeah, there's vector art, robotics, and hacking servers. Hacking Linux servers. Whoa.
Hacking Linux servers is actually like is hosted by Raf, and he's incredible.
Oh, I'm sure of it. He like sometimes he mentions his like cybersecurity stuff, and it's so big brain it just kind of goes over my head.
Mm-hmm.
Do we leave right now?
Yeah, we're supposed. Yeah, we leave.
Okay.